back again with another episode of Talking Sports with DP. And I ain't forget about my UFL fans, man. The UFL still going on. Week 5 was just played last weekend. And I'm going to talk about that, you feel me, a little bit with y'all. Go over some of the games, you feel me, and tell y'all how I feel about some of the games. Real interesting football if you don't know. The XFL and the USFL have joined forces to bring you spring football, which is the UFL. You know, it's The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and I want to say Daryl Johnston and Danny Garcia out there in business with each other with this new football league. But with that being said, I'm going to get these games to y'all right now. First game up, we got the San Antonio Brahmas versus the Arlington Renegades. San Antonio beat the Arlington Renegades 25-15. We got stat leaders passing. Quentin Dormany, 19 for 30, 164 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Starting quarterback for the San Antonio Brahmas. And then quarterback for the Arlington Renegades, Luis Perez, 26 for 36, 269 passing yards and 1 touchdown. Now, the player of the quarterback, honestly, Quentin Dormany, he had 3 interceptions, but some of them interceptions was off tip passes and stuff like that. So I can't blame all of them on him. One of them I will say it was his fault, but the other two, you feel me, the stats gonna be what the stats is. But I'm gonna give him the benefit for the doubt. The wide receivers could have caught one of them and another one was tipped up or something like that. But for the most part, Quentin Dormany looked a little comfortable, but the pass blocking for the Brahmas wasn't all the way up to par. Luis Perez, though, Luis Perez always looked comfortable in control of his offense when it comes to the Renegades. I don't say it in prior videos, the Renegades offense isn't a problem at all. It's the defense. They can't stop nobody. They can't stop people from scoring. Either one week they can't stop people from passing the ball, or the next week they can't stop people from running the ball. So Renegades, sorry y'all was the XFL championship. The XFL champions last season. But this season it looked like y'all at the bottom of the barrel and y'all are gonna be able to climb out of that thing. Cause it's only 10 weeks in the season. You guys are 0-5, and I don't see no way possible you guys can make the playoffs. Unless y'all win the last 5 games and the other teams lose the rest of their games, which is highly unlikely. I don't see that happening. But rushing leaders, and what I must say, the Brahmas was running that thing. Even though the offensive pass blocking wasn't all that, the run blocking was up to par this weekend. Well, last weekend per se. John Lovett, 13 attempts, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. John Lovett was out there running over people. And by the way, if you don't know, he's number 7 for the San Antonio Brahmas. But John Lovett was out there running over people, toting that thing, fighting for every yard he could get. I'm telling you, and he broke for 20 yards more than once, I will say. You feel me? The boy was out there on a mission. Him and his partner in crime, Morgan Ellison. He had 7 attempts, 84 yards. I told you the Browns was running that thing. They were toting that rock. And I like to see teams run that thing and move the ball. Gritty. I like that. You know, passing cute and all that. But I like to see people run people over, this, that, and the third, like that back in the day football. You feel me? And then the Arlington Renegades said their name backwards. Because this running stat throwing me off. The running back, 9 attempts, 33 yards. See, that's why y'all could. The second half, the Renegades really couldn't do nothing because the Brahmas played the pass and forced them to beat them with the run. And they know darn well the Renegades haven't been able to run the ball all season. I don't think they had to carry a running back go over 60 yards on the whole season. It's sad out there. Receiving yards, we got Jonte Kirkland for the San Antonio Brahmas, 6 receptions, 43 yards. And for the Arlington Renegades, we got that boy J.P. Payton, 7 receptions, 119 yards, and a touchdown. So like I told you, man, the Renegades offense, they was able to move the ball in the first half. But once San Antonio adjusted, it was over with, man. It was a no-show after that. The defense couldn't stop San Antonio on the ground. And the dog on Renegades was missing in the second half on offense. Offense of run game did not help the quarterback none whatsoever. The receivers seemed like they couldn't get open anymore. And then they were turning the ball over as far as fumbles. But defensive leaders for the San Antonio Brahmas, we got Tavante Beckett, linebacker number 11 with 14 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 forced fumble. And we got Jordan Williams out there with 9 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. For the Arlington Renegades, we got Miles Dorn, cornerback, number 46, with 7 tackles, 1 interception, 1 pass breakup. Jane Harris with 4 tackles, 1 interception, 1 PBU. And Stephen Jones Jr. with 4 tackles, 1 interception, 2 PBUs. And all those guys are defensive backs. So the defensive backs for the Arlington Renegades, they really had a good game. You feel me? I can't say, and from what the San Antonio Brahmas quarterback Quentin Dormley did with 19 for 30 and 164 passing yards, it kind of showed. So the secondary play stepped up to par. It was just the linebackers and the D-line. They ain't come to play. Best them big hog mollies up front was moving them boys out the way. But, man, it was a pretty good game, man. I got a few reviews from it, man. Renegades, like I've been saying the whole time, they couldn't stop the Brahmas. The Brahmas ran for 178 total rushing yards and 7.4 yards a carry. So that's the first down every 2 times the running back touched the ball. Easy money. You do that for me all day long, all week long. You feel me? I'll take that any day of the week. And the Renegades was 0 for 4 in the red zone and 3 of 14 on third down chances. They ain't gonna cut it, man. I see why y'all 0 and 5. You gotta do it better. You gotta do better, man. Bob Stoops, the coach for the Arlington Renegades, we gotta make some adjustments, baby. We gotta at least get 1 game. You don't want to go 0 and 10 for the season. I feel like y'all be the first spring team to go defeated. I can't remember a team in the spring league since I've been watching the spring league in the last 3 or 4 years that any of them went defeated the whole year. Ain't win a game. Well, it seemed like one gonna be coming up first time if Bob Stoops don't get his boys together. But what's crazy, the Renegades, they won in the time of possession. They had the ball for 33 minutes and 32 seconds compared to the Brahmas 26 minutes and 20 seconds. And, you know, the Renegades also had the 3 interceptions, but still found a way to lose the game. But the Brahmas defense also came to ball a little bit. They had 7 tackles for loss as a team and 2 sacks. And the game was tied at 15 until the 4th quarter. And that's when the Brahmas just started toting that rock and took over the game. They couldn't be stopped after that. But for the next game that happened last Saturday, we got the Birmingham Stallions defeating the Houston Roughnecks 32-9. This was just a straight slacking, dog. A straight slacking. They got their butt whooped out there by the Birmingham Stallions. The Birmingham Stallions are undefeated right now, 5-0. Giddy up, giddy up. The Birmingham Stallions is running this league. Last year when they was in the USFL, they won the USFL championship, and they won the year before that. And it looked like they're coming in this UFL to win them a UFL championship for the first time. Listen, the Birmingham Stallions are not to be played with. Houston Roughnecks, I don't know what was going on. Well, I guess I really do. Y'all was outmanned and outmatched. And I really wish y'all would have ran the ball with Mark Thompson a little bit more. I know you're trying to wiggle him back in and ease him back in from when he hurt his knee. I think he had a sprained knee or something like that. But if the man say he ready to go, he ready to go. Feed him the ball. Because you can't run the ball, you ain't going to have a chance to get the Stallions. They're going to put that pressure on your quarterback all night long, all day long. However long you want to be on the field, they're going to give it to you. So to slow that down a little bit, you're going to have some kind of running game. And that's what the Houston Roughnecks did not have. But passing leaders, we got my boy Adrian Martinez, 11 for 20, 155 yards and a touchdown for the Birmingham Stallions. And for the Houston Roughnecks, we got Reed Sennett, 27 for 38, 203 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Reed Sennett, honestly, really didn't have a bad game until the pressure started getting into him because they couldn't run the ball, you feel me? All the Birmingham Stallions had to do was play zone, you feel me? And rush the passer, get to the passer fast as they can. Because Reed Sennett, they ain't have to worry about them running the ball, you feel me? Because the only thing they could do was pass the ball. Because the running back, rushing leader for the Houston Roughnecks had 16 attempts, 15 yards. So, with that being said, that tell you everything you need to know. Why Sennett ain't have time to think back there, you feel me? Other than, I gotta throw it to one of my playmakers, see if they can get me a couple of yards. Cause I don't got time to think, I don't got time to get up under the center. They already sacking me, you feel me? But rushing leaders for the Birmingham Stallions, we got the quarterback, Adrian Martinez, 9 attempts, 138 yards. Adrian Martinez out there giving these boys the business, dog. I'm telling you. He might be the MVP of the league before it's over with. I can't lie. He been balling every week. And I feel like at this point, you might as well just get on the job, coach. Don't keep putting in Matt Corral, switching them in and out. It ain't no point. The job is won by Adrian Martinez. It seems like he done got comfortable with the offense. He's ready to ball. But receiving leaders for Birmingham Stallions, we got Deion Kane with 3 receptions, 33 yards. And Jay Sternberger with 2 receptions, 46 yards in the tuggy. And for the Houston Roughnecks, we got Justin Hall, 11 receptions, 93 yards. Get this man the ball more. He's y'all playmaker, Houston. I know the Birmingham Stallions are kind of too much for y'all. They got too much talent. Players everywhere. NFL talent everywhere. Proven talent everywhere. Guys that made all pro and all USFL type stuff, and all XFL, you feel me, kind of players. So, with that being said, any of these other games that y'all compete in, I feel like y'all can compete more in these other games compared to the Stallions. So with that being said, get Justin Hall the ball more and more. Try to get this man in the end zone because he's your guys' playmaker. Besides Mark Thompson, but y'all got to run him. Y'all ain't give this man the ball like that. I think he only had 6 attempts, if that. But Markel Robbie, the next receiving leader is Kiki Kism also. He had 7 receptions and 88 yards. But defensive leaders for the Birmingham Stallions, we got Mark Gilbert, cornerback with 11 tackles, and safety Kenny Robinson Jr. with 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 PBUs. So shout out to the Birmingham defense, stat leaders for them. And then Houston Roughnecks, we got my boy Markel Robbie, 10 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 PBU, and JT Tyler, 4 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 PBU. Reviews I got for this game, man. Honestly, Stallions gave them boys a good old-fashioned butt whooping from the start to the finish. The Stallions came out there running the ball, and it seemed like they couldn't be stopped. From the quarterback, Adrian Martinez, and to the running back, Larry Roundtree III, who had 9 attempts, 50 yards, and a touchdown. You feel me? Those guys was out there toting that rock. And the Stallions outgained the Roughnecks 358 to 271 in total offense. So, you remember when I told you they depended on Reed Sennett, the quarterback for Houston Roughnecks, do everything. He had 203 passing yards. They had 271 total yards as a team. The run game was nowhere to be found. The Stallions stopped that. They ate that up. It got to the point where the Houston Roughnecks just stopped running the ball entirely, which that wasn't going to help you, and obviously it didn't, 32-9. But the Stallions shut down the Roughnecks rushing attack because they only had 36 yards, like I was just telling y'all. 36-yard rushing in 60 minutes of football. Come on, man. You gotta do better than that. You gotta do better than that, bro. And Styles was 50% on third down, 5 of 10, going 3 of 5 in the red zone. And Adrian Martinez was responsible for 293 all-purpose yards. So shout out to the Stallions, man, out there still kicking butts. And the way it's looking, well, I hope to see, because I'm rooting for the St. Louis Battlehawks. That's the team that I'm rooting for. But them and the Stallions, man, they looking like the best teams in the league right now, for sure enough. But honestly, it look like the Stallions ain't going to be beat. But I would love to see that matchup whenever the Stallions and the Battlehawks do play. If they play this year, it would be foolish if they didn't have these guys scheduled up. But the next game, speaking of the St. Louis Battlehawks, they defeat the DC Defenders 45-12. And this is another butt whooping. But honestly, it ain't started off like this. It ended like that. It got crazy in the end. In the beginning, the boys going back and forth. But really, the Battlehawks will still look like they was in control. Don't get me wrong. But the Defenders still was making it a game in the beginning. Just started to get out of hand in the end. But passing leaders, we got my boy A.J. McCarron, 14 for 24, 213 passing yards, and 2 touchdowns for the St. Louis Battlehawks. For the DC Defenders, we got Jordan Tayamu, went 12 for 23, 101 yards, and 1 touchdown. Not a good showing. 101 yards, 1 touchdown. Ooh, I see why y'all only got 12 points, because the rushing attack wasn't there neither. We got Zaquandre White. He used to play for Georgia, if y'all probably heard that name before. 15 attempts, 33 yards. Not going to get it for the DC Defenders. Rushing leaders for St. Louis Battlehawks, we got Jacob Saylors leading again. This is his 3rd time leading this team in rushing. The other 2 games look a little more impressive than this one, but 12 attempts, 52 yards, 1 touchdown. I'll take it because he had a sidekick, Wayne Gallman II, with 10 attempts, 31 yards, and a touchdown. Receiving leaders, this man stepped up, came to play. Big man, 6'6", Hakeem Butler, with 6 receptions, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Shout out to Hakeem Butler with the big game. Way to come to play. Way to step up and out of the field. That's for the St. Louis Battlehawks, if I didn't mention. For the DC Defenders, we got the boy Kevin Harmon, 4 receptions, 37 yards, and a touchdown. Defense leaders, Mike Rose, linebacker for the St. Louis Battlehawks, with 11 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 interception, and 1 PB. Quaterio Cole, free safety number 32 for the St. Louis Battlehawks, had 8 tackles. For the DC Defenders, we got Michael Joseph, number 15, cornerback for the DC Defenders, 11 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 PBU. And Anthony Hines III, linebacker number 57 for the DC Defenders, had 7 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. My reviews for this game, the Battlehawks got outscored 25-0 in the 4th quarter. I told you it got ugly late. They started blocking punts, intercepting the ball, getting the ball in red zone often, and taking advantage of it. And that's why the score ended up being 45-12. It would have been a lot closer if St. Louis Battlehawks just ain't go crazy in the 4th quarter. But you know, call is law. Because that's what it is, and that's the saying in St. Louis. If you did not know, the Battle Dome. And the Battlehawks had 25 points off of turnovers. Way to play defense. Way to step up, way to ball, man. Way to come to shut down the DC Defenders. I ain't think y'all was going to shut them down like that. It seemed like it's a little rivalry dating back to last season when y'all two was in the XFL league and not the conference, which is they in the conference now. And the Battlehawks had 4 takeaways, 3 interceptions, 1 forced fumble. DC was 2 of 13 on 3rd down. They couldn't buy a 3rd down, man. It was horrible on 3rd downs. DC, you gotta do better than that. And DC, first time losing at home. They was 10-1 at home in Audi Field. So, shout out to the St. Louis Battlehawks. Way to tap that butt. on the god doggone DC Defenders. But to our last game, let's get it. Michigan Panthers defeat the Memphis Showboats 35-18. Passing leaders for the Michigan Panthers, we got Danny Ellington with 14 for 21, 175 passing yards. And for the Memphis Showboats, we got Troy Williams, 19 for 37, 248 yards and 3 touchdowns. Nah, that boy been hooping. Nah, I ain't gonna even count. Troy Williams, you came to play. And I'm surprised you got numbers like this with the way you had to run and scribble and scramble just to get a good look. Because your O-line is not blocking for you. But shout out to Troy Williams for the good game, but y'all didn't get the dub. So really shout out to Danny Ellington stepping in for EJ Perry, getting the W. Even though the stat line looked like he didn't do much, because the pass blocking for the Michigan Panthers, they got to get something to work on that. Because Michigan Panthers is an okay team, but the pass blocking is really hurting this team, honestly. But rushing leaders, even though I said Michigan ain't pass blocking, them boys run blocking. Wes Hills had 16 attempts, 82 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. And his partner, Matthew Colburn, the second, had 15 attempts, 68 yards, and a touchdown. So they had 4 rushing touchdowns on the ground today, man. And that's the story, really. They ran up and down Memphis all day long, and Memphis couldn't do nothing about it. And they wasn't going to try to do nothing about it, I guess, because, hey, 4 rushing touchdowns on a day. What are you gonna do? You ain't gonna make an adjustment after the second rushing touchdown? Or how about after the second 20-yard run? Come on now, do something, coach. Tighten up, baby. And for rushing leaders for the Memphis Showboats, which all season, just like the Renegades, they rushing attack is nowhere to be found. The quarterback is their rushing leader with 2 attempts, 24 yards, mainly because he was running for his life out there because his O-line is not blocking. But receiving leaders for the Michigan Panthers, we got Cole Hicatini, tight end with 3 receptions, 64 yards. And for the Memphis Showboats, we got Daywood Davis, 6 receptions, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Defensive leaders for the Michigan Panthers, we got Levante Taylor, number 1 defensive back, played for Florida State. Y'all Seminole fans, if y'all know him, you know I don't really care about Florida State that much because I'm a Miami fan. But Levante Taylor, 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 forced fumble. And Keandre Whitehead Jr. had 6 tackles, number 32 safety for the Michigan Panthers. And defensive leaders for the Memphis Showboats, we got TJ Neal with 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and PJ Hall with 6 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 tackle for loss. Number 92 defensive line for the Memphis Showboats. Now, reviews on this game. Michigan played a complete game for the most part. They had 311 total yards of offense, passing 151, rushing 160. So it was pretty much balanced. They had a balanced attack out there. A little bit of pass, a little bit of run, we give you a little bit of this and of that. Keep you confused, keep you guessing on defense. You don't know what we're going to come at with you. Because we know the Memphis, all y'all going to do is throw the ball. Because you can't run the ball, and you damn sure can't pass block. So we're just going to pin our ears back and get after that ass. And Michigan was 7-14 on 3rd down. So nice percentage, Michigan. Way to go. Way to get the 3rd downs when you need them. Way to keep the chains moving. And Michigan also had 7 sacks and 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. The Michigan run blocking looked unstoppable. Pass blocking was abysmal. Like you say, I ain't really want to say too much of what Memphis did bad for the simple fact. You heard what they did bad by what Michigan did good. But we got some offensive stat leaders through week 5. That boy Luis Perez is leading the league with 1,151 passing yards. Rushing leader is a quarterback. That man from the Birmingham Stallions, Adrian Martinez, leading the league in rushing with 302 yards. And receiving leader, Mr. 6'6" himself, Hakeem Butler, with 344 receiving yards. Mr. 6'6", tall joker out there jump balling. It looking like an unstoppable wide receiver, which I can respect that. Take control over the league, young fella. You feel me? Try to get your shot to the NFL. Defensive stat leaders, we got Levante Beckett leading in tackles with 40 tackles. Linebacker number 11 for the for the San Antonio Brahmas. My apologies. San Antonio Brahmas. Levante Beckett. And for the Birmingham Stallions, sack leader Carlos Davis been leading since the beginning of the season. He been leading the league with 6 sacks on the year. And interception leaders, we got my boy Kai Nakue, number 21 for the Michigan Panthers. He leading the league with 3 interceptions. You feel me? We got the weekend slate for the next games of week 6 this Saturday. We got the Birmingham Stallions versus the Memphis Showboats, 12 o'clock Eastern Time on ABC. We got the Houston Roughnecks versus the St. Louis Battlehawks at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. And for the Sunday games, we got the Arlington Renegade versus the Michigan Panthers, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. And then for the last game, we got the San Antonio Brahmas versus the DC Defenders, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. And I want to finish this thing off with a little bit of power rankings. We got for the number 1 team, we got the Birmingham Stallions. I keep getting these teams mixed up, talking so fast. Should slow down. But for the power rankings for the number 1 team, we got the Birmingham Stallions, 5-0. We got the St. Louis Battlehawks, 4-1. Number 3, we got the San Antonio Brahmas, 4-1. Number 4, we got the Michigan Panthers, 3-2. And honestly, from the first 4 that I just said, that's perfect. Honestly, the list, really the whole list is perfect. So I might as well just read the list as it is. I have no problem with the order of the list right now, the power rankings. And number 5, we got the DC Defenders, 2-3. Number 6, the Houston Roughnecks at 1-4. And number 7, the Memphis Showboats at 1-4. And number 8, the Arlington Renegades at 0-5. Yeah, I'm not mad at how they got these rankings, and honestly, I'm interested to see if Memphis and Arlington play again. Wonder how that outcome would be. You feel me? See if the Renegades get their first win. I feel like they can beat Memphis Showboats. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for you for the UFL. I'm gonna be coming back at you again with the rest of these NBA playoffs. And shout out to my Miami Hurricanes, you feel me? You know, you just talk sports with your boy DP. Like, share, subscribe, you feel me? And stay tuned in, you feel me? I'm going to try to do this thing all year round when it comes to football and basketball mostly, you feel me? And, a little boxing too if I want to sprinkle that in there. Or whatever sports topic that come up. So, yeah, like I just said, like, share, subscribe, and your boy is out.